Greetings, grace, and peace to you all on this day. Please center with me as I bring the invocation for the hour. Empowering God of grace and mercy, we invoke your presence with us this day. Family, faculty, regents, administrators, community, and friends have come together to celebrate the accomplishments of the 2018 graduating class. As they begin new chapters in their lives, we invoke your blessings upon them. Cause each to be mindful. We pray of what they have accomplished. Continue to ground them in faith and values. Bless their lives from this day on with goodness and love. Help them to stay true to their dreams, to use their gifts wisely, and to walk into the future with faith, hope, and great love. We ask special blessings on President Priminal and Abigail, on our commencement speakers, Dr. Paul Batalden, and student speaker, Carol Burton. Give continuous encouragement to Augsburg University to press on in its mission to educate students to be informed citizens, thoughtful stewards, critical thinkers, and responsible leaders. It's in your holy name we pray, and together the congregation says, Amen.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. My name is Karen Kaivola, and I'm Provost and Chief Academic Officer here at Augsburg University. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the second of two commencement ceremonies held on this day in Augsburg's 149th year. This afternoon, we celebrate the accomplishments of 159 students who have completed degrees in Augsburg's adult undergraduate program, as well as 314 students who have completed the following graduate degrees: Doctor of Nursing Practice, Master of Arts in Education, Master of Arts in Leadership, Master of Arts in Nursing, Master of Business Administration, Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing, Master of Music Therapy, and Master of Social Work. This morning, we celebrated 436 graduating seniors in the Undergraduate Day program. To all the family and friends of our graduates, I extend a special welcome. I also welcome members of the faculty, members of the Augsburg University Board of Regents, and the faculty emeriti who are with us this afternoon. Thank you all for joining us in this milestone event in the lives of our graduating students. They are members of the first graduating class of Augsburg University, following many others who have graduated in years past from Augsburg College. It is a commencement tradition to recognize retiring faculty members who, after many years of dedicated service to our students and the university, are joining the ranks of our faculty emeriti. This year, we honor two faculty with this recognition: Janine Gregoire of the Department of Education and Catherine Swanson, Professor of English. Both have been approved by our Board of Regents for Professor Emeritus status, an honor that confers special privileges in recognition of distinguished and meritorious service over a significant period of time. Let's take a moment to recognize the outstanding service of these faculty members and to congratulate them on the honor of being named Faculty Emeriti. Each year at commencement, we lift up an aspect of Augsburg's mission statement. Today, we feature themes of faith and values. Today's commencement speaker and student representative of the class of 2018 will echo these themes in their remarks. Augsburg's Lutheran identity provides deep roots for commitments to an education informed by vocational discernment and service to the neighbor. It shapes and informs equally deep commitments to equity and justice on campus and in the world. It also opens us to the multiplicity, plurality, and gifts of diverse peoples and cultures of the world, symbolized in part by the flags behind me, which represent the 42 countries and sovereign nations of the students earning degrees today. It is now my pleasure to invite President Paul Pribenow to the podium.
Thank you, Karen. I'd like to add my warm welcome to all of you gathered today here on this proud occasion. It's one of the great joys of my role as president to participate in the various moments in the life of the university wherein we honor and celebrate the accomplishments of our students. You are, of course, the reason we have existed for 149 years. We are proud of all of you and very pleased that so many of your family and friends are with us this afternoon. The Richard J. Toney Award is given to one member of the graduating class whose actions, commitments, and future aspirations most profoundly represent the commitment to community, hospitality, and innovation that are the hallmarks of Rick Toney, who is the founding director of the Weekend College, now the adult undergraduate program, and of the Rochester campus. It is my pleasure to present the Richard J. Toney Award, and I ask this year's recipient, Heather Mabbitt, to step forward as I read about her accomplishments. Heather? Heather is a member of the adult undergraduate program with a special education, academic behavioral strategist major. She completed her coursework last fall and is now a fully licensed special education teacher. Heather worked as a special education paraprofessional and transitioned to a role as a special education teacher for a small rural school in southern Minnesota. Although an elementary teacher, Heather sought out students from kindergarten to high school with special needs. She strove to make her classroom a safe and supportive space for all students. They created a cohesive team spanning 1st through 12th grade. One of her nominators reflected on how Heather brought out their best talents and skills and celebrated their achievements publicly. Her students shone under her guidance. Last spring, Heather's family was hit hard with an inordinate number of obstacles, several health concerns, a car incident, all while bringing home a newborn baby and continuing to meet the existing needs of her young family. During that time, Heather continued coming to class, completing her work at the highest level. Her upbeat attitude and sense of humor persisted through the whirlwind of circumstances surrounding her. Yet she continued to support her classmates through her insightful participation in class and discussions. Heather continued to shine through her student teaching experience last fall and continues now to mentor new teachers in her school. She exemplifies commitment to community both at Augsburg and at her school. She is using what she learned through Augsburg's special education program to work with her teaching partner, another Augsburg grad, to create an innovative space for students with emotional and behavioral needs to thrive. Heather's drive for fairness, her big heart, and her commitment to care for her students and those fortunate enough to be around her exemplify the purpose of this award. Please join me in honoring Heather Mabbitt as the 2018 Richard J. Toney Award recipient. Congratulations. It's now my pleasure to welcome and introduce this year's commencement speaker, Dr. Paul B. Batalden, Augsburg class of 1963. As we considered who best to address this year's graduating class, the first from Augsburg University, and the class that first occupied with great enthusiasm the remarkable Hagfors Center for Science, Business, and Religion, it became clear that it was fitting to turn to one of our own, someone with lifelong ties to Augsburg, someone who had distinguished him or herself at the intersections of science, business, and religion, and someone who had an important forward-looking word to offer the class of 2018. Dr. Paul Batalden was at the top of our list of distinguished potential speakers. Dr. Batalden is an award-winning and internationally celebrated doctor, professor, and healthcare professional. He currently serves as Professor Emeritus of Pediatrics, Community, and Family Medicine at the Dartmouth Institute for Health Policy and Clinical Practice at Dartmouth Medical School in New Hampshire. His life work is focused on improving the quality of healthcare services and transforming medical education. His contributions in medicine have been recognized with numerous awards and honors, from the American Association of Critical Care Nursing to Linköping University in Sweden. Dr. Batalden is a graduate of Augsburg. He has served on Augsburg's Board of Regents, and he has funded, with fellow Augie Levon Olsen Batalden, his wife, and his brother Stephen Batalden and his spouse Sandy Batalden, the Abner Batalden Professorship in Applied Ethics here at Augsburg, a tribute to Paul and Stephen's father, who served as Augsburg's first alumni director. Today, we are incredibly proud to recognize Paul's accomplished career in medicine and the academy, his lifetime of service to his alma mater, and his ongoing support of student engagement in a robust and practical liberal arts education, which is so important to all of us here today. Paul, we are honored to have you with us today. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Paul Batalden as this year's commencement speaker.
Thank you very much, Paul. Well, congratulations on this step in your lifelong learning journey. I know there have been many words that have helped you get to this place. I want to invite you to focus on just one more word. It's a four-letter word, and the word is with, W-I-T-H. It's a treat for me to be with you here today. You are, as Paul has suggested, the graduating class that welcomed the opening of this marvelous Center for Business, Science, Business, and Religion. It's a beautiful physical reminder of knowledge streams that have lived together since this place began. Acknowledging them as connected in an art-filled, user-friendly space honors and invites attention to the real way this college mattered for me. My time here was the beginning of a journey of building knowledge, one subject with another, and connecting them with people around me. The author G.K. Chesterton observed that tradition is a form of democracy in which the dead get a vote. This tradition here invited me to follow the ancient Chinese wisdom advice: those who seek to honor their mentor don't follow the mentor, but rather follow what the mentor was following. So I'll illustrate with stories and some examples from my life of this word with. But as I do that, I'm cognizant of the fact that it could be your stories, just like it's my stories. So as I share my stories, you might want to think about your own stories about this word with. It was here that I began to see, in the role modeling of the curious and caring faculty, the importance of showing up in person, being directly with the persons that I was trying to help, even in little ways. I recall one day in the class in Western Civilization, Professor Carl Krislock was in the middle of one of his marvelous stories that made history a real subject. And these stories were what captured your interest as a student. And it was that day when he was telling a story, and he noticed that the sun was in the eye of one of my classmates. So he went over to the window to pull down the shade, and the shade pull was trapped in some kind of knot that was up around the shade. So without breaking his story or the lecture, he goes over and gets a desk chair, brings it over to the window, steps up on the chair, reaches up and untangles the cord, pulls down the shade, never breaking the cadence of the story or what he was trying to communicate with us. And it's a simple little anecdote, but it illustrates the intensity of focus of this particular historian while demonstrating that he was with us in the moment of the class. We didn't have river paddling faculty like some of the undergraduates have here today, but it was clear that our professors were with us then as we were trying to learn. After Augsburg, I went to medical school and then to a pediatrics residency. Eventually, I was in practice here at what was then the St. Louis Park Medical Center. One night on call, I got the message that a baby was to be born by emergency cesarean section because there had been an internal transfer of blood from the baby to the placenta, and it was expected that the severe anemia in the baby had put the baby at risk for heart failure. My job was to show up and, if needed, perform an emergency exchange transfusion, trading richer oxygen-carrying blood for the baby's blood, and allow the baby's heart to work less hard as a result of that transfusion. This involved preparing to make a diagnosis at birth, alerting the blood bank to be ready for an urgent cross-match, getting the exchange equipment set up in an appropriate place, arranging for people to monitor the baby's vital signs, and a process for keeping the baby warm. At birth, the baby did have the problem that we suspected. We soon had the matched blood and conducted the exchange transfusion as we had planned. The heart rate decreased. The baby seemed to be resting more easily. It was really satisfying that everything had worked so well. By about 5:30 that morning, I went to the parking lot to go home as the sun was coming up, initially feeling pretty proud of what I had been able to do and privileged to be a part of this work. Then it dawned on me, I hadn't been the only person working as a soloist with this baby and mom that had created the outcome. I personally had not arranged for the transfer of the mom from outstate to our center. I hadn't personally obtained and matched the blood for the baby. I hadn't personally procured the setup for the exchange transfusion with the umbilical catheters and so on. I realized I had reason for feeling good that I'd been able to connect my knowledge and skill with this baby's need. But this outcome was possible because of the effective presence and work with others who together offered their contribution to this mom and baby. We were actually a host of folks, not a soloist, who had worked together to be with these two people. I appreciate that many of you here who are graduating today come from diverse faith and moral traditions. I also know that Augsburg honors you in its deep commitment to interfaith living and conversation. I want to share with you how my Christian faith tradition provided me an important framework for understanding the withness of our lives together. After Augsburg, I had the good fortune to marry a classmate as a life partner, Levon Olson. Shortly after we were married, I started medical school. My younger brother started Augsburg, and my parents went to work with Lutheran World Relief in Korea, and then Vietnam, and then India, and then Bangladesh. Over the next 15 years, this would mean lots of long times apart. There was no Skype or internet then. When they had to go back to their work in Asia, we paid a lot of attention when it came time to say goodbye to each other. My dad made Psalm 121 a regular part of the leave-taking process. At their memorial services, it was also a part of our process of commemorating them, their life journeys, and our leave-taking. The psalm closes with the words, "The Lord will guard your going and coming, now and forever." It's about being kept while on our journeys, going and coming. It made me think about the many journeys in my life, a day, a job, a relationship, a class, an event, a home, a birth, a death. But reflecting on times like these, a graduation, on all the things that have helped along the journeys leading to today, helps me realize that we live in a blizzard of input about accompaniment on journeys. Text words, Siri, maps, pictures, advice, apps. I suppose this psalm in some ways lives in this general conceptual space, but it really isn't journey advice. It seems to be more about the framing of our relationship to our journeys, remembering that while on our various journeys, we are in relationship with our Creator. The more I thought about it, the more it seemed to me that God being with us was actually a pretty central theme of the Bible. And it surprised me that the word with occurs more than 7,500 times in the Old and New Testaments of the Bible. When my work takes me to London, I usually try to attend a concert or a service at the church on the corner of Trafalgar Square, St. Martin in the Fields. Samuel Wells is the vicar of that church. In his book, An Nazareth Manifesto, he suggests that the words, "God is with us," express a fundamental truth of the Christian view of God. He suggests that Jesus is the embodiment of God with us. For him, the word "with" is the word that lies at the heart of the Christian faith. Wells uses this insight to inform his relationships with the people who live on the streets close to that London corner, an active part of the work of this man and this church. I think it actually might be pretty central to what I think of when I think of the social ethical imperative for a time like now, as we deal with each other, with our politics, and with other countries in the world. Most of my professional life has been spent working at the intersection of science, business, and religion, as Paul suggested. There I have been trying to improve the value of the contribution that healthcare services make to health. This work invites me to recognize that it's as difficult to outsource one's health as it is to try to outsource one's learning. I've had to learn that making a service involves a different logic than making a product. Actively co-produced healthcare service invites health professional persons who are capable of understanding the lived reality of the persons who are sometimes known as patients. They must link their science-informed practice with that patient person's aim. Healthcare services are composed of relationship with and actions. They are held together by knowledge, skill, habits, and a willingness to be vulnerable, the vulnerability that comes when whole people, head, hands, and heart, show up for another person's need. The improvement of healthcare services invites the contribution of several ways of knowing, several different epistemologies. One time, we invited sociologists, medical researchers, journal editors, clinical health professionals, economists, healthcare service system leaders, finance professionals, psychologists, and educators to come together to discover the special contributions that their individual ways of knowing and their work disciplines might make to the job of improving healthcare services. With the help of a British foundation, we invited these people to spend a week together. We met at Cliveden. Cliveden is an old English manor house that was once occupied by Lady Astor. It was the place where the cabinet minister, Sir John Profumo, was caught in his affair with the Nazi spy, Christine Keeler, who died a couple of months ago. We, however, experienced Cliveden as a grand old place for a meeting on the banks of the Thames River. We were wrapping up on Thursday evening of the week. People were gathering their stuff to make an early exit on Friday morning, and then we learned that Eyjafjallajökull, the Icelandic glacier volcano, had erupted with dust that covered the entire UK airspace. None of us were going anywhere because there wasn't any way to get to a plane that would fly. And we were effectively locked in with each other. The immediate effect was that we had an unplanned space of time to reflect on the conversations and presentations from earlier in the week. Those presentations had opened the ways these various subjects could work with one another to invite new ways of thinking and acting to improve healthcare service. By our forced co-location and co-reflection, we developed a new and friendly connection with one another, ties that last to this day, nearly a decade later. After, I began to wonder if all significant meetings should be closed with a volcanic eruption. But the lesson that I actually took away had to do with planning for a reflective space after doing the generative work that involved connecting one subject with another. So in my work life, the word "with" takes many forms. I suspect it is the same for most of you. Currently, I have another job. On Wednesday afternoons, I work as an under-quilter. My wife, Lavan, leads a neighborhood quilting program with Somali women in South Minneapolis. Make no mistake, she's the master teacher quilter. I help her. I set up stuff, I carry stuff, I make knots. not a bunch of words, and a commitment to be with her and the Somali women as together we make quilts for them and others who can use them. The experience helps remind me of the message attributed to St. Francis: preach constantly, use words if necessary. Thinking a bit further about the word with in the context of the world we live in, it seems we're often invited to pursue a sense of self that offers only weak links to being with others. Being with another seems to involve more than a text or a photo exchange. Being with others is more than being friended or even to be in relation only with friends. Dealing with the differences among us seems to involve more than some scheme of private or personal gain or of bluster or bullying. Working together, working with one another to deal with the real problems facing us in this complex world of ours seems more than a matter of trading 300-character messages with each other. Like our health and our learning, I think we can't outsource our citizenship. The word with is a preposition. The Oxford Dictionary defines a preposition as a governing word, one that expresses or invites inquiry into the relation of one word with another. What leads us to being with someone, or of linking one subject with another? Sometimes there's a dark side of with. Over time, our expectations and assumptions may have proven mistaken. This invites the reflective work to revise and refresh them so that our withs remain grounded in truth and reality. However painful this adjustment may be, the support of our community, our family, and our friends can help us. So how might we develop a useful habit of being with the world we face? I never know what someone else should do. How will you really see the people you're living with, working with, playing with? We seem prepared to notice what we believe. I find it easier to notice someone or something when I take a provocative minute or two and jot down some reflections in a journal. What process helps you? What may make identifying the with in our lives hard? Sometimes it's hard to find a reflective, mindful moment in the overwhelming glut of incoming signals that we live in. Like health, learning, and citizenship, I think it may be nearly impossible to outsource meaningful reflection in our lives, the reflection that really helps us see and notice one another. For me, as I pause to place one of these words with another, I realize that it is science with business with religion that informs my life in the real world. It's knowledge linked together with what I do and or with what I'm trying to figure out that forms the basic agenda for my life as a curious health professional person. It's being with people in need and with those working to meet that need. It's recognizing and being able to be grateful in my Christian tradition that I am kept by a God with us. I hope you will explore your own traditions, as you have done here at Augsburg, in exploring how you live out what it means to be with each other on your journeys as you live fully into your own withness as you go from here. Thank you, and best wishes.
Thank you, Paul, for those thoughtful reflections and inspiring words. We are indeed honored to claim you and your wife, Levon, as Augies. Now it is my pleasure to present the Augsburg Jazz Vocal Ensemble, directed by Susan Druck.
Hello, all. Congratulations to all the graduates today.
We want to thank the family, friends, parents, professors, whoever helped you all get here.
We're very proud of you all.
We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We won't be. All of us together. We shall not be moved. All of us together. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Hand in hand we're singing. We shall not be moved. Hand in hand we're singing. We shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We're fighting against injustice. We shall not be moved. We're fighting against injustice. We shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We'll fight till we see victory. We shall not be moved. We'll march till we see victory. We shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved.
Thanks to our musicians and to director Susan Druck for this wonderful contribution to today's program. I am now pleased to introduce Carol Burton, who is representing this year's graduates as student commencement speaker. Carol is receiving the Master of Arts in Leadership degree. She holds her undergraduate degree from Winona State University, where she serves as a mentor to undergraduate students and a speaker on transformational leadership. Please welcome Carol Burton as a representative of the class of 2018.
We certainly shall not be moved. President Pribadal, Provost Kaivola, regents, faculty, staff, family, friends, and my fellow graduates. When was the moment when you chose to become an Augie? When did you decide to continue education while working, being with your family, and volunteering? Think back for a moment. Likely, you inquired a program you thought would be interesting or thought would advance your career. Or maybe you spoke to someone connected to the university whose values aligned with yours. Whatever the path, your walk led you here. We all chose to join this safe and welcoming urban community built on striving to lead while serving our local neighbor as thoughtful stewards of truth and trust. Perhaps you, like me, wondered how an Augsburg education might change you, but you might not have anticipated is how an Augsburg education would improve your family, your neighborhood, and your community. My personal experience came from a woman whom I did not know, except seeing her at church. she became part of a new leadership team that I led. After leading a challenging meeting that ended on a good note, I noticed this church lady waited until everyone left so we could have a private conversation. As she was rearranging materials in her bag, this church lady simply asked, "So, Carol, what would you like to do with the rest of your life?" Her question that day was transforming. My faith in hearing this woman led me to the leadership program. I imagine that for you, like me, faith and values were part of your discernment process. You placed trust in your decision that you chose well. You worked with colleagues in various professions, experiences, and beliefs. You reshaped your opinions on leadership, followership, collaboration, stewardship, and servitude. And together, we shifted into a trajectory towards being critical thinkers and humble listeners while forging thought-provoking actions intended to improve people's lives. Our values expanded, our faith deepened, and our humanity condensed. We have been changed and touched by a small campus in the middle of an urban island, renowned for being globally aware. We challenged one another to step into our truth with grace, courage, and determination to right wrongs, teach and challenge in peace and love. Unknowingly, my faith and values influenced me to deepen my understanding of leadership in its modesty of being present while recognizing how I impact others. Our passions and values provide clarity, offering supportive efforts, guiding our purpose toward the light as responsible leaders. Our education provided us the opportunity to create a new toolbox with new tools. How exciting is that? We learn how to improve and correct plagued or antiquated systems through various forms of critical thinking designs. Nobel Peace Prize laureate Malala Yousafzai stated, "Education is education. We should learn everything and then choose which path to follow. Education is neither Eastern nor Western. It's human. Education is human." Through the practice of concentrated study, we anticipate a purposeful outlook of this chosen path that we are trailblazing, encouraging us onward. So you may be asking, "Carol, what am I to do now? What is my challenge?" Thanks to Augsburg's nurturing environment, we equipped ourselves with future-forward thoughts. Placing our values and trust in action, we are changing. Our charge strengthens our values and convictions of our truth. We understand we will do the very best we can. However, when we do not, we take responsibility knowing we are an extension of Augsburg's educational excellence. We should be proud of what we have learned and experienced at Augsburg. Yet, we should be cognizant to apply what we have learned in service of our neighbors. 50 years ago this month, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. traveled to Memphis, Tennessee, to support a strike by sanitation workers. His words in his last sermon called The Mountaintop, which he delivered the night before his assassination, provides a reminder of where our focus should be and serves as a challenge to us the class of 2018. Reverend King said, "The question is not how. If I am to stop this man in need, what will happen to me?" He said, "The question is, if I do not stop to help the sanitation workers, what will happen to them?" Today, we reframe this question by asking, what happens if we do nothing? What happens to our communities if we do not utilize the tools we acquired and nurtured during our time at Augsburg University? That is our question. Congratulations to the class of 2018. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol, for those inspiring words. We'll now turn to the conferring of degrees. Dr. Monica Devers, Dean of Professional Studies, will now present the candidates for degrees of Doctor of Nursing Practice, Master of Arts in Education, Master of Arts in Leadership, Master of Arts in Nursing, Master of Business Administration, Master of Fine Arts and Creative Writing, Master of Music Therapy, Master of Social Work, the Bachelor of Arts, and Bachelor of Science. Candidates, as you cross the platform in front of the stage, you will be greeted by Jeff Nodlin, the chair of Augsburg University's Board of Regents, and by myself. Doctoral and master's degree candidates will be hooded by the director of their graduate program. We would ask the audience to please hold your applause until the final candidate in each category has crossed the stage so that all names can be heard.
Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty at Augsburg University, upon whose recommendation these degrees are granted, and in their name, it is my privilege to present the candidates for the degree of Doctor of Nursing Practice. Candidates, please come forward as directed by the marshals. I will announce the names of the members of the class as they come to the platform. Dawn Marie Katarabik. Verlis Keller-Miller. Jacqueline Faulkner Complin. Chi Obasi. Bonnie Donabauer Paulson. Linda Yang. Jennifer Lynn Brackey. Bertina Haug. Michelle Diane Johnson. Jennifer Marie Rivers. Sonia Brockman. Stephanie Lene Gulbranson. Kristen Babine Dinnan. Heather Jean Nielsen. Robin Lynn Ait Ali. Allison Pauline Fick. Titi Taiwo. Christopher Ray Lee. Kongmo Samula. David Benjamin Clark. Teal J. Foster. Congratulations.
Doctor of Nursing Practice, please stand. By virtue of the authority entrusted in me by the faculty and Board of Regents of Augsburg University, and upon nomination by the faculty, I confer upon you who have completed the requirements the degree of Doctor of Nursing Practices with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. I welcome you to the proud company of Augsburg graduates and challenge each of you to pursue your professional work with a sense of calling and faithfulness and a passion for justice, fairness, and civility. Congratulations.
Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty at Augsburg University, upon whose recommendation these degrees are granted, and in their name, it is my privilege to present the candidates for the degrees Master of Arts in Education, Master of Arts in Leadership, Master of Arts in Nursing, Master of Business Administration, Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing, Master of Music Therapy, and Master of Social Work. We will begin with the candidates for the Master of Arts in Education. Ibrahim Aden. Dahir Wako. Melissa Miller. Emily Lynn Andrews. Jeffrey Radke. Aaron Tyne. Rachel Erin Retterath. Amanda Wool. Anne Elizabeth Schleisman. Rebecca Miskey. Amber Jones. Theodore Nge. Colleen Klein. Marika Rees. Stephanie Fry. Hibak Muhammad. Adrian Grace Hansen. Kirsten Haugen. Lisa Turgeon. Melissa Oberg. Heather Reynolds. Ka Lee Song Sing. Justin Pike. Greta Callahan. We will now move to candidates for the Master of Arts in Leadership. Brenda Jennings Starr. Lana Field. Elaine Eschenbacher. Erin Laurice Gilbert. Julie Ramona Jefferson. Carol A. Burton. Ariel Shaw. Lisa Jenks. Molly Larson. Andrea Kopishki. Charles D. Cornelius. Ashley R. Holmes. Catherine Jordan. Patrick J. Vieux, Jr. Anne O'Keefe Jackson. Catherine M. Alvino. I now introduce candidates for the Master of Arts in Nursing. Andrea K. Jimerson. Monica Teresa Brennan. Ashley Marie Anderson. Teresa Haygard. Benedict Melvin Lorenz. Leanne Marie Bauman. Gwen Marie Post. Cam Yang. Michelle Dominique Calderon Palmberg. Samantha Michelle Foster. Gordon B. Griffith. We now have candidates for the Masters of Business Administration. Jacob Brown. Patricia Jesperson. Catherine Ann Radford. Mary Tao. Christopher Scott Stubbs. Nick Trichka. Jason Plank. Matthew Howe. Aaron Wheeler. Ashley Price. Sandra Kalinowski. Pedro Castaneda. Jeanette Portzer. Michael Lee Slagstad. Jeffrey Brian Stolp. Jana Gitterman. Caitlin M. Lamb. Shannon Mitchell Thomas. Sarah D. Wolf. Allison K. Lister. Stacy Johnson. Jennifer Ray Fox. Hua Vu. Sonita Toy. Matthew Robert Fisher. Kevin Fleechek. Pablo Jortak. Dustin T. Burr. John M. Silva. Timothy M. Hughes. Emily Hadiambo. Kelly Saunders. Callie Christofferson. Shelley Whelan. Wade Lance. Carme Serio. Jens Boyum. Rebecca Seavey. Corey Barker. David John Lampat. Matthew Schaefer. Kristen Quick. John Wanker. Grant Kocher. Francisco Lopez Jimenez. Brooke Wojak. Jared Featherstone. Shannon Casperson. Lauren Summers. Rosalind Balanik. Stephen Fawver. Darcy Meyer. Rose Dickey. Ryan Casey. Bernard Dixon. Jeremy Knapp. Maya Alaridi. Sarah Halby. Zachary Dries. Brian Tillmans. I now present the candidates for the Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing. We have one more candidate for the MBA. So George, hang tight. Anne O'Keefe Jackson. There we go. Sierra Hall. Gina Musto. We now present candidates for the Masters of Music Therapy. Taylor Beloga. Emily Leanne Miller. Hannah Danielle Hamrick. And we now present candidates for the Master of Social Work. Anzala Ahmed. Allison Jala. Jessica Dubé. Kelly Lynn Tischer. Brianna Havelka. Abigail Louise Pearson. Amy Heimkes. Emily Marie Gerard. Gao Jia Li. Margaret Esther Edwards. Jennifer Lynn Stewart. Samantha Schultz. Jessica Heiber. Molly Fricky. Gabrielle Leahy. Brittany Pichacolin. Cass Highgard. Caitlin Young. Megan Steinable. Victoria Gagnon. Hannah Pedersen. Melvin Anthony Thomas Cheatham. Michael T. Brooks. Casey Bailing Roser. Sai Tao. Cha Kong Yang. Angela Shuda. Jessica Lee Neeson. Camber Merlene Pierboom. Rachel Molinari. Karen Lubanovic. Dunia Ahmed. Chi Her. Greta Gates. Dana Ann Amundsen. Jenny Wiedemeyer. Samantha Kaiser. Susan Marie Hirschmugel. Quida B. Kakula. Carissa Anna Wilson. Sarah Tiemann. Patrick Gerard Kennedy. Heather Matheson. Alex Eisted. Lamina Watson. Deanna Rose Smith. Brianna Ruth Miller. Danielle Yelmsted. Paul Thomas Harper. Jane Roth. Mai Lore. Yvonne Saroy. Lisa Holt. Steve Dahl. Tamara Pribnow. Monica McDaniel. Jenna Riley Farron. Caroline Cruz. Marg Nelson. Maria Javed. Bradley Surnobara. Luis Tellez. Ashley Plordy. Krista Lynn Adamson. Katie Reibers. Tyler Bridges Parlett. Congratulations.
Will the candidates for master's degrees please stand? By virtue of the authority entrusted in me by the faculty and Board of Regents of Augsburg University, and upon nomination by the faculty, I confer upon you who have completed the requirements the degree of Master of Arts in Education, Master of Arts in Leadership, Master of Arts in Nursing, Master of Business Administration, Master of Fine Arts and Creative Writing, Master of Music Therapy, or Master of Social Work, with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. And I welcome you to the proud company of Augsburg graduates and challenge each of you to pursue your professional work with a sense of calling and faithfulness and a passion for justice, fairness, and civility. Congratulations.
Mr. President, on behalf of the faculty at Augsburg University, upon whose recommendation these degrees are granted, and in their name, it is my privilege to present the candidates for the degrees Bachelor of Arts and Bachelor of Science. After reading names of the candidates for the baccalaureate degrees, two types of honours may be announced. First, Latin honours. These honours are based on cumulative grade point average. Additionally, in order to graduate summa cum laude, students must successfully complete an in-depth oral examination. Candidates for Latin honours wear cords on their shoulder in the school colours maroon and grey. Second, students who have completed special curricular requirements with a high average in their disciplinary area of study will be noted as having received departmental honours. Alexander Jared Wenzel. Iñaki Antonio Martin Cosio. Sharisa Chatham. Natalie Matson. Chao Truing. Mary Carol Gray. Rachel Rose Armstrong. Elaine Dillard. Nigel Alexander Cook. Ayan Ahmed Abdali. Caroline Mabera Mutanya. Sherry Meyer, cum laude. Mary Ann Mzenga. Jennifer Lee Blinderman. Catherine Heilman. Armel Alapini. Jeremy Hello Wanga. Olofunka Awubamis. Angela Rochelle RSP, summa cum laude. Kristen Ann Witham, summa cum laude. Alyssa Christine Blair. Samuel James Fisher, magna cum laude. David Inestvet, cum laude. Daniel McGee. Ketlina Sun, magna cum laude. Krista Amy Gardner, magna cum laude. Alexandria Adeline Butler. Ina Gilman. Matthew David Johnson, cum laude. Christina Lynn Pickering, magna cum laude. Shelby Lee Christensen, cum laude. Elizabeth Aleda Schneider-Loberg. Rhiannon Marie Kish. Linda Sue Logsdon, magna cum laude. Nicole Gordon. Amanda Amparo Pachai Zambrano. Nathan Pyre Stensrud, cum laude. Michael Shaw, summa cum laude. Eric Tackle. Elise Edwards. Heather Marie Mabbitt, summa cum laude. Melissa Lagerud. Tina Marie Melby Perkel, cum laude. Shua Yang. Mekdes A. Bitu. Muna Asefa Ansha. Saba Mesfin Nagash. Antenalu D. Tona. Soliana Alem. Joanna Sandberg del Castillo. Lisette de Gracia. Melinda Kakasi Nickerson, cum laude. Zakia Washington. Hannah M. Regal, magna cum laude. Carrie Jolene Felty. Sarah Wilgenbush. Renee Vargas. Edgar Iescuz Gomez. Tamaka Lauren Colbert. Tariq Marut Samari. Jennifer Schwan. Eric Stewart Klatt. Mada Lee, cum laude. Anthony J. Howard, cum laude. Marcus Anthony Dorsey. Rose Wynn, cum laude. Farhia Gatti. Muna Tua Mohammed. Nardos Legamo. Elizabeth Ann Asher, cum laude. Christopher D. Postma. Brandy Lene Idzo. Ryan Jeremy Arthur Hoover. Tracy Elizabeth Just, magna cum laude. Congratulations.
Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees please stand? By virtue of the authority entrusted in me by the faculty and Board of Regents of Augsburg University, and upon nomination by the faculty, I confer upon you who have completed the requirements, the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science, with all of the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. And I welcome you to the proud company of Augsburg graduates, folks throughout the world who live out the deep links between education, faith, and service to the neighbor. Congratulations. And now, please join me in welcoming Jeff Nodlin, Augsburg class of 1977, the chair of the Augsburg Board of Regents, who will greet you as the newest Augie alumni. Jeff?
Thanks, Paul. You know, this is an exciting day for us Regents. You know, most of us show up on campus 2 to 3, 4, 5 times a year. There's like 30 of us, and it's really about one thing, and that's about seeing the smiles on your face, student success, because this is why we love this university. So again, from the Board of Regents, congratulations. So now it's a great pleasure to join you on this joyous occasion and to congratulate you on your accomplishments, your graduation, and to officially welcome you into the Augsburg University Alumni Association. This is your connection to Augsburg as your alma mater. You're now part of a strong network of, I guess, over 25,000 people around the state, the nation, and frankly around the world that represent Augsburg University. The portfolio you got on your chair today is a gift from the Alumni Association. And inside you'll find information regarding upcoming events and other ways that you can be active and involved with Augsburg University. You know, I value highly the opportunity to serve the university that I love, and as Paul said, graduated from a long time ago, as a chair of the Board of Regents. And I'll be forever grateful to the faculty, to the coaches, and to the staff members here who have really had a profound influence on my life. And remember, your commitment to Augsburg does not end when you graduate. We stay with you, as our speaker said today, and you stay with us. Likewise, our commitment continues long after this. Again, congratulations on your graduation, and each of you have an exciting future ahead of you. Welcome to be a proud ranks of the Augsburg University alumni.
And now, as our commencement ceremony exercises come to a close, I offer this charge to our graduates, the Augsburg University class of 2018. May you always be good learners, sharing your education and intellectual curiosity with a world that so needs your insight and understanding, your commitment to lifelong learning, and your willingness to take risks in service to the human estate. May you always be good citizens, individuals who join together with fellow travelers on the road of democracy to create a more just and humane world, and who follow in the footsteps of our thousands of graduates of this university dedicated to making a difference in the world. And above all, may you always be good and faithful people, people who recognize that the many gifts you have been given, gifts of education and friendship and opportunity, demand of you to be good stewards in the world, taking good care of all that has been entrusted to us. Congratulations, keep in touch, keep the faith. We're all immensely proud of you and will watch with great anticipation as you commence your lives in the world as graduates of Augsburg University. May God keep you.
Congratulations to each of today's graduates. I now invite those who received degrees today to please move the tassel on your mortarboard, if you have not already done so, from the right to the left. This symbolizes not only your accomplishment at Augsburg, but your readiness for the opportunities and the challenges that lie ahead. We're so very proud of you, and we know that you will continue to make a difference in the world, to meet the world's needs wherever life takes you. Graduates, I now invite you to take a moment to thank, with your applause, all those faculty, staff, friends, and family members who have supported you and contributed to your success at Augsburg University. And now I am delighted to present Redbone Drum Group, who will perform the honors song in recognition of today's graduates. You will find a description of the honors song in your program. I invite you to stand as you are able.
It is with joy that we thank members of Redbone and for their sharing in their work in the community and for joining us here today. Please receive this blessing and hear these words within your own spiritual tradition. Reading from Jeremiah in the Old Testament. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. May the God of steadfastness and encouragement lead you to serve and to love all people. May the God that we know give you these gifts as you dwell and serve, and as we heard our speaker share today, with others, emphasizing the with. The gifts of compassion and patience, caring for others, especially the least of these, serving and loving our neighbors. May the God of hope fill us with joy and with peace. And all of God's people said, Amen. Could I ask you to be seated for some instructions? One way you can be helpful to leaving today in some sort of orderly fashion, it'll get us out of here faster. We ask members of the audience if you could remain seated until the platform party up forward here, the regents, faculty, graduates, all have left the auditorium. As noted in our program, there's academic programs and departments are hosting receptions at various locations around the campus. You can note that, where that is in your program. Let us now go in peace.
When marimba rhythms start to play, dance with me, make me sway. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me, sway with ease. When you dance, you'll have your way with me, sway with me, stay with me. Other dancers may be on the floor, dear, but my eyes, they see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I grow weak. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Other dancers may be on the floor, still, but my eyes, they see only you. Only you have that magic technique. When we sway, I grow weak. I can hear the sound of violins long before it begins. Make me thrill as only you know how. Sway me smooth, sway me now. Oh, in the breeze, bend with me, oh, sway with ease. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more. Like a flower bending in the breeze, bend with me. Will you have your way with me, oh, sway with me, oh, stay with me. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me closer, sway me more. When you have your way with me, oh, sway with me, stay with me. Like a feather bending in the breeze, oh, sway with me. Like a lazy ocean hugs the shore, hold me close, sway me more.